Hello and welcome to a Christmassy video. I am so excited to be filming this one because I've been waiting to put my tree up to be able to film this, but here we are, the tree is up and I'm ready to go. I thought, well, why not do some more personal recommendations of books based off of the decorations on this tree. So I've basically written down a couple of these specific decorations. I will show you clips over the top of what decorations they are, and I will also talk to you about how I think these translate into the book recommendations that I've picked. Basically, I've just tried to mix book recommendations in with Christmas in as many ways as I can throughout the whole of December. So this is, I suppose, the first proper scheduled in video you'll be seeing of all of my really fun December videos that I've got coming up. I'm so excited. Hopefully going to be trying to put out as much content as possible throughout December. I didn't want to push myself to do Vlogmas because I just know that's not very realistic with how much stuff I have going on. So my own version of it was just to do as much as I wanted to and was able to do, which is why Lauren and I are running the 12 Letters of Christmas Day, which is challenges starting on the 13th, ending on the 24th. If you do want to check that out, I'll put the video at the top here. But that was like our little version of being able to somehow involve Christmas creation content thing into more of a challenge aspect, so that'll be really fun as well. But without further ado, let's jump into these recommendations. So the first one is just your standard bauble. This is, for me, my red baubles. I have got red and white sets that I both got separately with like 20 to 30 baubles in a box from John Lewis. And these ones are the making up the staple of my tree, I suppose. So like they're pretty much everywhere around the tree, and then the decorative character ones are mixed within them. So for me, this seemed to be a book that I feel like a lot of people have got on their shelves. A book maybe that might have a red front cover because that's what colour my main colour scheme on my tree is, and just a book that is quite common to find within the book community. So I think it's particularly poignant that I've picked this book as well because I'm actually currently rereading this via an audiobook and I am loving it, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first in the series. It's got a red cover, so it fits perfectly with the theme. But I have not read this book since my very start of days within the book community, and I am really enjoying my reread. I started it a few days ago and I am really well into it with the audiobook. I'm listening to it constantly, so I'm sure it won't take me very long to finish it. But I had to throw this in here because I feel like I can add this into recommendations really easily and not really talk too much in detail about it. But now in rereading it, I'm rediscovering my love for this story and the journey that she takes you on in this one versus the journey you go on in the other two, because this book is very different from the other two in the series. But we're also getting the 4th/5th book next year. I say slash because we had a novella in between, so I don't quite know how to count that, whether the novella was 3.5 maybe. But I am really excited to be jumping back into this series so I can get up to date before the new book comes out. So I had to put it on this recommendations because so many people dismiss this one because there's the stigma of it being so different to the rest of the series. But honestly, I still find it really good fun. I'm listening to it via SCRIBD, which is a really good audiobook service that allows you to have unlimited within a month as opposed to credits with Audible, so I've got both. But SCRIBD, it kind of relies on you reading certain types of books. If you read too many popular new releases, it'll limit how many books you see. So it is unlimited, but it isn't, if that makes any sort of sense. And for me, this one popped up as a book on SCRIBD, so I thought, yes, I will be giving that one a go. I'll link SCRIBD down below. I think I can give you 30 or 60 days free with my code, depending on what their deal is at the moment. It's very good if you want to try it out, but I'll pop that link down below for SCRIBD. But this as an audiobook is fantastic, and I'm really enjoying delving back into this world because I really love it and I love Sarah J. Maas's writing. It's just fun. Then jumping into a couple of the more character-based decorations that I've got. So I recently bought this really cute little mouse decoration from Tesco's. I got it when I was doing my food shop and it was just so cute, so I had to get it. I absolutely love it. I think that supermarket decorations are so cute and just unique every year. I love going to the garden centre or the big shops to get them as well, but I feel like you never know what the supermarkets are going to throw out, whereas the John Lewis and Marks & Spencer tend to follow some kind of a theme. So John Lewis had a lot of woodlandy themed this year, which I have also got some of. but this little mouse made its way onto my tree. So for the mouse, I thought they're quite cute, they're very diddy and just fluffy and nice and sweet. So for that, I thought I would recommend you a contemporary book that I really enjoyed reading in the summer, and that is The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. This one I read over a weekend because it was just fantastic, and it just is lovely and cute and sweet, but also has your drama in the middle. It's about two people that live and share a flat but have never met each other, and there's only one bed in the flat. So they work different shifts. One of them works a night shift and one of them works a day shift, and they never see each other, and they leave each other little notes to communicate by. And I just really enjoyed this. This for me was an introduction into Beth O'Leary's writing, and I have since bought her other book, and I'm also excited for The Road Trip by her that I believe is coming out next year as well. So if you want a cute adult contemporary that just makes you feel warm and cozy but also involves the drama that you need from an adult contemporary, I would very highly recommend The Flatshare. Then we've got the candy cane. Now, I love having candy canes on a tree, and I was very pleased when I found these ones also in Tesco's, because I think the candy cane is a really reliable tree decoration. It's festive, it's got the red and the white in it, which is the kind of theme I've gone for anyway, and they just generally are a standard staple of the Christmas tree, in my opinion. So for this book, I wanted to go for a reliable book, almost a book that's to the point and doesn't mess about with what it's about. You know what you're getting into. It's just there, it's on the straight and narrow with a little bit of a curve at the top, like the shape of a candy cane. And for this book, I have recommended The Poppy War, not only because its colours match a candy cane, but also because I can't not recommend you this book in a video. It's actually illegal for me to do so. I'm joking, it isn't really, I just really like it. This is by R.F. Kuang, and this follows Rin as she goes through stages of a military school that she has managed to get herself into, and also discovers that she has some that's so hard to say, some shamanic abilities. Wow. And goes on a tangent with discovering that, and there's a war, the Poppy War, and there's 3 other books in the series. Well, there's 3, it's a trilogy, there's 2 others apart from this one. It's fantastic. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to give you spoilers, but Rin is a very blunt, serious character. She's definitely got some humour to her, it's dry, but it's there. But she is the candy cane of this book. This is a loose tie, but in my head, candy canes, you know, they're very obvious in shape. They're never really going to be a different shape. This book is what it's about. It says what it's about. You know what it's about going into it. There's certainly twists and turns, and there's definitely massive development. But I feel like a lot of people like this book. I haven't seen many people dislike it. A lot of people like candy canes. You know what? Just read this book, okay? I'm just going to put it here because I know I failed at this recommendation. Now this year I bought a couple of big baubles. I like the standard size baubles mixed in with the gigantic ones. So in my local garden centre they had some way too big to exist baubles, so of course I bought them. I've got 2 different ones, one that is very much like the candy cane pattern again, and another one that's red with gold spirals around it. And for this, obviously, I'm going to go with a big, chunky, eye-catching book. A book that if you whack someone over the head with, it's gonna hurt, and just a fantastic read. And that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is definitely one of the chunkiest books on my shelves, coming in at just over 800 pages, and it is also absolutely amazing. For how big it is, you have a lot of characters crammed in here, you have a lot happening. There are dragons, there are epic storylines with royalty and magic and hidden paths and magic orange trees. It's honestly absolutely amazing, and yet so many different storylines going on that it's so hard to give you a clear plot. I would say go into this if you want something where you can really attach yourself to the characters, because of how long it is. You do feel like you really get to know them. There is a female-female relationship in this that I absolutely adore, and I just want to read so much more from those characters. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing. Not only is it eye-catching because of the orange, but also because it's chunky. So similar to my giant baubles, this one is just a huge chunky book that we cannot help but love. This next one is tenuous as well, but bear with me. So I've got 2 different variations of mushroom toadstools on my trees, and I feel like these decorations have become more and more common in recent years. So they're decorations that I feel like a lot of people probably have a variation of somewhere on their tree or within their decorations in their house. And it seems to be suddenly a thing that I've seen within the last few years recently. So for these books, I am going to put out books that I believe a lot of YA readers will have on their shelves. So bear with me. Obviously I'm being very general here, but this is my prediction as to books that I think a lot of people have in some variation. If you've installed these editions, I have a lot of hardbacks because I really like hardbacks, so those are the ones I'm showing you. It might not be these editions, but I feel like a lot of YA readers either have these or have read them or have had them at some point. So I would be interested to see what you guys would answer for this one down below. Actually, you think everyone would have. And I know that we're all different readers and we have different tastes, but I feel like there's some books that we all bow to the hype with. So I've picked 3 for this. The first one is another Sarah J Maas book, and that is Throne of Grass? Throne of Glass. It would be a funny throne if it was made of grass, though I don't know if she'd be able to sit in it in the same way. This is about Celaena Sardathian, who has come to the palace representing one of the royal members, or one of the members within the palace, as an assassin, and she is to take part in this competition to try and find the best assassin in the land. So she's got to like get through all these other thieves and criminals to try and get through that. There is a hell of a lot more to this series, but that is the underlying theme of the first one, and obviously a lot goes on because this is like a chunky series with lots and lots of books in it, and novellas and side books and things. Not so much novellas, side books, but I didn't enjoy this one as much as I did the ACOTAR series, because for me I just prefer those characters and what's going on in that series. But Sarah J Maas definitely likes to write about her fays and her magic and her epicness. So again, this is a really good series for epic. But why am I telling you this? You probably know this, because this is what I'm saying a lot of people probably have on their bookshelves. Another one that I feel a lot of people have on their bookshelves is some version of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I said YA, but I don't think this one is considered YA, is it? I think this is just adult fantasy. Oh, look at those sprayed pages. This is a book that follows 2 different competing magicians from a young age to an older age, as they are kind of rigged against each other to win magical contests that are just fantastic to read about and totally amazing. I would absolutely love to go and visit the world within the Night Circus, because it just seems mind-blowingly beautiful. But I feel like even if you've not read this, you probably have a copy of this lying around somewhere. I had a copy of it lying around from a charity shop for ages. I read it years ago, loved it, have this copy as well now, so I've got 2 copies of this. I've also got 2 copies of this. So not only do I just have one of each of these books that I think everyone has, but I've got 2. So again, let me know if I'm right. Do you have a copy of The Night Circus on your shelves, or on a Kindle? That counts too. And finally, because I feel like this was so popular when it came out and has continued to be so popular, I don't think it's really dipped in popularity, is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is kind of a Ocean's 11 if it was set within a fantasy world with very different characters. It's a heist-esque book with magic, and a little band of rapscallions come together to try and go on this mission, and they're all different skills, different characters, different personalities. I'm yet to read Crooked Kingdom, which is the sequel to this. I feel I need to reread 6 of Crows to properly enjoy Crooked Kingdom, but this was so hyped when it came out. It was all over the internet, all over BookTube, and I feel like so many of us probably have a copy of this. Again, I've got 2 of this one. Generally, if I have a hardback, I've usually got the paperback version as well somewhere. It's so shiny. Oh, it's so Christmassy as well because of the red. So yeah, those are my mushrooms. One of the favourite decorations on my tree are these red birds. They clip on, I've got 4 of them scattered around the tree, and they've got lovely long tails, and they're just elegant and beautiful and very eye-catching. And I find when I'm looking at my tree, I'm always scanning and looking for those decorations. So similarly, when I look at my bookshelves, there are certain books that stand out to me and are particularly eye-catching. So get ready to roll your eyes, because the eye-catching book I've selected is this edition of Sarah J Maas's House of Earth and Blood. This is a special edition, and it is absolutely beautiful. Isn't it just stunning? This is the tour edition from WATERSTONES. I probably should remove that sticker off the back. This is one of my favourite books, and this is my favourite edition of it. I just adore it. I wish the pages were sprayed. That would be great if they were red, but I feel like maybe that would be too much red and overkill. Also the red and gold Christmas colours, yes. House of Earth and Blood follows a plot I don't want to go into in too much detail, because then it'll tell you completely what it's about, but basically there is a revenge plot going in at the heart of this, within this urban fantasy setting of a girl and a guy who is quite different to the girl. Oh, it's so hard to say what it's about without telling you like why things are happening in the actual like main part of the plot. But basically this girl goes on this journey to try and figure out why something has happened within the plot, and it's about what she finds out, who she finds out with, the relationship she has, the sauciness, the epic heroicness of it all. It made me cry, it made me laugh. I adored it, and I want to reread it now, even though I only read it earlier this year. But this is really good, and it's really eye-catching, just like the pretty red birds on my Christmas tree. Then I've got my bee decoration. Now, I've got a bee for several reasons. 1, it's got some yellow in it. 2, my name starts with a B, and I often get called Bee by my family members, so bees seemed to follow me around, and 3, I just absolutely loved it. I just thought it was really beautiful, different decoration, and even though it doesn't match the tree decorations at all, I just really liked it. So for the fact that this one stands out and doesn't really match the other decorations, I thought I would show you a series I have in which loads of my different editions just do not match each other, and it's just a bit chaotic really, and that is my Lord of the Rings books. So I have got 3 different types of editions of these books on my shelves, 1 complete series in the editions and 2 incomplete on either side. So I've got the complete series of these ones, which are the original redesigned covers within like a modern setting. Does that make any sort of sense? These covers are the older covers, but they are obviously reprinted now. These are my favourite editions. I absolutely bloody love these. So I have got all 3 of the Lord of the Rings books. I've got The Hobbit and I've got the Silmarillion in these covers as well. Then I've also got the Fellowship of the Ring in this cover, which you can see is very well read by me. The spine has been broken many times and it's just been through bags. This is also a secondhand copy when I got it, so I'm not the only person to have read this a few times. This is my copy of the Fellowship of the Ring, and then this is my copy of the Two Towers. So they're all completely different. I am absolutely dying for the pocket versions of Lord of the Rings. They're like the little leather bound ones. I've had them on my wish list since the beginning of having a wish list, and every Christmas people are like, oh, those have been on there for so long you probably don't want them anymore. I'm like, I so want them. I should just buy them for myself, but they're like 30 quid, and at the moment when I've just bought a flat it's not entirely justifiable. But anyway, my recommendation for these would be the Lord of the Rings books because these are freaking amazing. I have been completing the series as part of the Tolkien Along since a month. October? Yeah, because we read, in September we read The Hobbit, so I've been reading the Lord of the Rings books from October, November and then December as well. And then the Silmarillion will be in January, I believe. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that one or not as well yet. But I've been really liking getting into this world again because I never completed it when I read it before. And lastly, the Nutcracker. I've never had a Nutcracker before, but I really wanted to get a little decoration just to put on the tree and just look cute and classic, because the Nutcracker is a classic decoration. So for this I have picked, it's not really a typical classic book, and it's also not a book I've read yet. It's on my TBR for the Christmas period, but I'm going to throw it in here anyway because that is Letters from Father Christmas, again by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is a little compilation book of letters that J.R.R. Tolkien has written from Father Christmas to his children, and I absolutely love it. They've all been transcribed within this book. I've bought this year to read within the month of December because I just thought it was such a lovely idea for a book, and what better way to feel Christmassy. I've wanted to have this one for a while, and it kind of matches these ones. It doesn't really, it's got his little symbol on the top. Do these ones have a symbol? They've all got a symbol on the top, okay. Well, we'll ignore that, but I really wanted to get to this one this year because I just thought it was really nice to feel cozy and have that sense of family when obviously we're in the middle of this weird lockdowny time at the moment. So yeah, this is my Nutcracker book. Those are all my recommendations tied in with my Christmas tree decorations. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been really excited to film this one because I had loads of ideas for how I wanted to do it. I came up with the idea a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't have my tree up yet, so I've been waiting to be able to film it. I feel I need more festive clothes to do these videos because this really is not a wintry outfit. But hey ho, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the little fireplace in the background. If you want this kind of thing, you can just type in Christmas fireplace into YouTube and it brings loads of lovely little background videos, which I really enjoy. But I do hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for sticking around. Let me know what books you'd answer, or do the same thing. I haven't done this as a tag, but obviously you can do it as a tag if you'd like, or you could just do it with your own Christmas tree because you're not necessarily going to have all the decorations that I've just listed. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your answers would have been for these prompts as well. Or you can subscribe to see more of my face on your feed and all my Christmas content because I'm so excited. And I hope you like my intro too because I've got a little Christmassy intro just for a little bit of fun over the festive period. So thank you guys so much for watching. Keep smiling, stay positive, and Merry Christmas.